Hello and welcome to your next digital lesson with Ron Kustrup. We're going over making medieval memes with photop.com. I'm going to go pretty fast through this, so if you need to review anything, you can always rewind and go back. Basically, what you're doing is you're creating a meme that uses an image from medieval times. You can see examples here. Try to make it funny, but the basic idea is you're just including text onto an image. You're also required to have the School Lane Charter School logo somewhere on the composition, usually on the bottom right. You can see these examples. Here's just more examples. Again, including text on those compositions. This one's also using shapes. That's up to you if you want to go that far. You are going to need two compositions. There's two different submission dates, one for each of those compositions. Your artwork, again, just a reminder, you must include the School and Charter School logo in the composition. Could be either one, could be, there's a few different ones out there. Here are the main requirements. You are, again, creating a meme about medieval times that includes the School and Charter School logo, generally on the bottom right. The way we're doing this is we're going to go on www.photop.com, create a tall document. We're going to use images from Google, and I'm going to show you how to save them as a JPEG, as well as a PSD, but JPEG is more important for submission. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to get to the website. You're going to go on www.photop.com. Let that load up. I already found some images. I just searched School and Charter School logo. I searched medieval illuminated manuscripts. Now here's the first one I found. I'm just going to click and drag it to my desktop. I already had one on there, so I'm just going to copy and replace. That's fine. So again, I have my image on my desktop. So what I want to do is I want to go to File. Now that I'm on www.photop.com, I'm going to go to File, New. Then I'm going to call this Meme 1. I'm going to make sure it's inches. I'm going to have the width be 8.5. The height is going to be 11, and the DPI is 300. That means how many pixels are used in the image. The higher the number, the clearer the image. So what I'm going to do is simply going to click my image and drag it into Photop. You can see that my image is now in this composition. See how there's these boxes on the sides and corners. If I click and drag, I can make the box bigger. Notice how it's warping, it's stretching. If I hold shift, it will no longer do that. So that's a nice trick you can do. I'm going to make it big so it fits my composition. It might be cut off a little bit, but that's going to be fine. I'd just rather have it be full than not. I'm then going to move it so it fills the composition. Notice here's your layers panel. Whatever's higher up is going to be in front. Whatever's lower is going to be behind. Here's your tools over here. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to want to include the School and Charter School logo. So I'm just going to click and drag that, move that into the composition. You can see that it's underneath. That's why I cannot see it. So I'm going to click and drag it above, and then I'm going to move it in the bottom corner. If you need to make it smaller or larger, you can always move the corner, holding shift to making sure it doesn't warp at all. Next thing I'm going to do, last and final step for creating the image, is I'm going to create a text layer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new layer. By clicking this button, so you see it says layer 1. I'm then going to check to see if my font's good. Awesome. I'm going to then begin typing. So let's get this going. So I'm going to click the text box. Doesn't seem to want to be. I'm going to make these invisible by clicking the eye. Make this visible again. We're going to Control plus to zoom in and see that our text is very small. So let's just delete all that and do the text layer again so it's clear. Create new layer, go to text, and then just click, and you'll see your text appear. You could type, this is what an elephant looks like, and then I'm going to hit enter and say, without using a reference image. Okay, I'm going to highlight all that text. I'm going to go up here and make the font larger. That seems like a fine size for now. Again, these eyes make things visible and invisible. So all I need is my logo layer, the original layer, and my text. Control minus to zoom out. So this is on the front. We want to click the move tool, and you can move your font up here. Notice that it's hard to see, so we're going to click our text tool. That'll allow us to select our font, and we're going to click and drag all of it, and we're going to center it. We'll make it color so it's easier to read. Let's make it red. And then hit the check. And now we have our text. So, oh, it flipped back. So again, we're going to select all the text. We're going to go to red. Um, we're going to try this again. Go to red. Go to red. Hit it's not working. Okay, so not all the things are going to, here, you have to make sure to hit OK at the bottom. All right, so there we are. One thing you can also play around with is Control A, make the font different. Um, the internet might have trouble with that, but you can play around with the different options. Right, so bold is a nice one to use for this. Depending on your internet, it might be easier or more difficult. Try to make it where it's visible. I'm having trouble seeing it, so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to create a new layer. I'm going to add a rectangle tool. So this rectangle, I'm just going to click and drag that rectangle. Okay. I'm going to notice the fill is that color, so I want to change that. I'm going to make that white actually. That looks good. So now I notice I don't see my font, right? It's because it's underneath. Now that I click and drag it above, I can see my font. I can move it to a nice place, and now I'm complete. Now I just have to save. To save file, export as JPG. Let's just do that for now. That'll be fine. All this will be fine. Just hit save, and you can see it saves down there. I go to show in Finder. I can see that it's now saved into my downloads folder. And you can just upload that through Schoology. I'll walk you through that if you need. So I go to Schoology, go to login. Let's say I want to submit something. Oh, that's it. You know how to do it. So that's the basic idea.